Yeah, let's wait for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I think we can start it. Praveen and Hassan will not be able to join today. So, and in the last meeting, we have the 3 interns to present their work. And I also set up the weekly think-up meeting with Donna and Jeff, which will be after this meeting. So that one, if anyone interested on the interns project, you are welcome to join. Otherwise, it will probably mostly will be the intern will be the main participant to discuss the project with Donna and Jeff. Then today, like Qingyan from Alibaba were talking about the SRv6 policy, and especially we want to use that one as a vehicle to determine, say, how we can enhance the communication channel from the FR to the SONiC. So that's for this week. Then next week, I want like Venkata from Dell to talking about either Dell's use case or talking about the young models between the FR and the SONiC. It looks like there's some different stuff there. Then in the following week, so because Kantara from NTT introducing the next hub group, so I would like him to introducing his idea, and also following that, I would like to Donna to see how we can combine this one from the BGP all the way down, then we can get a better convergence. So that's roughly maybe like from today to the next couple of weeks. So that's the rough agenda. Yeah, so that's all. So any comments before we start in the SRv6?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you want to start it?
Let me show my slides. I can't find the show button. Okay, I find it.
You find it?
I find it.
Okay, good.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Gu Wei from Alibaba. Today I'm excited to share with you my proposal, communication channel between FR and SONiC in SRv6. Last time we discussed this topic, but we didn't quite reach a consensus. So I hope in this discussion we can phrase a solution about this channel. In SRv6 VPN HLD, we list 2 workaround solutions about SRv6 policy use case. In short, in our implementation, FR writes 3 tables to Redis AppDB directly. They are SRv6 my seed, SRv6 policy, and SRv6 seed list. My purpose is formalize the workaround solution as a standard solution. Let's take a look at the current situation first. In SRv6 policy use case, the SRv6 policy table is configured through passd, and the final results is generated by passd. And the SRv6 seed list table only rely on passd configuration, so they are unable to transmit netlink message effectively. So for a simple workaround, passd writes them to appdb directly. For the SRv6 mySeed table, we tried using netlink message to notify FPM syncd, but because it was not possible to distinguish between mySeed and the normal routes in the deleting path, so we're using Zebra to write directly to the appdb finally. In other use case, we also have a need for FR to access the DB. There are another factor to consider, which is the latency situation. Many latency devices, they are already in place and running stably, are using netlink message format through FPM. Switching to ProBuffer will require a lot of cost, both in development and maintenance. In summary, we need to extend a more flexible message channel without changing the existing netlink-based message format channel. We need to focus a few issues. The first is, what is the most suitable approach for impairment a communication channel? Maybe use TCP socket with ProBuffer or Redis client API or others. The second is, where should we deploy this solution? Should it be in the Zebra process or in other protocols processes that require communications? As the workaround solution from the SRv6 use case, we need to discuss where it will be more appropriate to handle SRv6 policy, Zebra, FPM syncd, or OC agent. Let's focus first on the third question. This slide, which is about our current implementation and situation. In SRv6 use case, we have a hierarchical ECMP requirements as shown in the diagram. SR policy can have multiple seed lists. Therefore, we need to handle policy and seed lists in the SRv6 OC. It may be not handle them well about ECMP in FR. So we handle in OC. We can discuss it later. Now we go back to the communication channel discuss. We are providing two solutions to consider and discuss. The first one is extend ProBuffer module. It communicates with FPM syncd using TCP socket with ProBuffer and deploy in the Zebra process as a new module. It is similar to the D-Plan FPM NL module, but it uses ProBuffer for communication. I think it's almost no effect on FPM or D-Plan FPM NL. The disadvantages is the logic of Zebra has become complicated and it needs to distinguish different type messages. The second solution is impairment FR module that operations DB. This module is a new module that can perform read and write operations on different databases by dynamically loading different shared objects through D-Plan, through DLOpen. There are two deployment ways. Zebra set up this module as a centralized process for communication with DB. Another is Zebra and other protocol process can independently load this module to perform DB operations. The benefit of this is that now we have a module that can directly operate on a database and can more flexibly meet requirements and be used in SONiC or other systems. However, there are also disadvantages, as it may not comply with the framework of FRR. Okay, it's easy. That's all.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So I think that this is basically there are two problems here. One is like say from the FR point of view, like how we want to set up these the channels, especially for the say this is policy stuff. And the second one is for the specific for the FRv6 policy where it should be handled. Today, like in early approach, we put in the OC agent because we using the SD to passing the information directly to the OC agent. So that's why what the proposal. So we want to pick everybody's brain to see that what will be the acceptable behavior. So if we want to go through a zebra, and or we want to then do we want to change this logic also, or moving up, or still keeping the OC agent? So that's something we want to discuss. So any comments?
I believe, Eddie, we talked about it, right? Like we don't want to want the direct communication from path D to the ARC agent, right? Earlier, because I think Donald also commented earlier that that's a recipe for disaster. We don't want to do that, isn't it? Earlier.
So that's one thing is like to say the question is if we do we want to using Zebra or the FPM sync D for the SRv6 policy? So that's probably like I say that's the question, because last time we say, hey, if anything related to Zebra should hands-on, then it makes sense to let the Zebra to pass go through the right. So that probably we need to like iron out that one also.
Okay. I believe like you know, if let's say you don't have SONiC to program, like let's say they want to program the kernel, so I believe they take the zebra path. The FRA takes the zebra path to program the kernel, right? As a let's say you have a policy table programming in the kernel. So I don't think path D will directly talk to the kernel and you know do the programming. It will everything will go via zebra is what I believe.
So from your point of view, the policy going through the zebra, at least we have a chance later on that this policy can go to the kernel.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Then do we expecting like say if just by path go through that then it's okay, or do we want to like see Zebra make the changes, be aware of these the policies? Say for example, like let the route binding direct, because today what we do is like we have the regular route with the ECMP path. Then we because we say hey the next hop is a tunnel endpoint, so we replacing as the basically the policy path. So the question will be like in the Zebra, should we do the same logic in the Zebra? So let the path be resolved in Zebra.
Right.
Okay. So basically we treated the policy as a TE tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so was everyone okay with this proposal? Then so we basically say treat the SRv6 as similar to the TE tunnel, then we would let the Zebra to resolving it. So whatever currently what we put the code in the OC agent, we probably will be moving to the Zebra to resolving the path. So just like as a normal like a resolving path in the Zebra. I don't know if it's Donna or yeah. Yeah. I don't see them here. Okay, they already back. Okay. How about the other guys? Would that be sounds reasonable? So we basically say like the SRV6 will be considered as the speed tunnels of time thing. Yeah. I see the Michael here. I don't know if Michael, would you want to sharing like say this in the XR where the Ripple also handling the policy?
Yeah, so today RIB is, yeah, we're not, yeah, I'm not familiar enough with Zebra to say, to make a comparison, I don't think yet.
Zebra logically is the RIB functionality to do the route resolution. So I just want to like say have the comparison, say like in Cisco OS you have the similar idea, like say hey the policy will be similar treat as a CE, so that is the Zebra, that is RIB to handle it. That's, I just want to double confirm with this logic with you.
Right. Yeah, so my understanding is RIB is not doing the resolution of the policies. Yeah, and XR tunnels are treated almost as an interface, and that's not the case for SRv6 though. It's yeah, I'm not sure I can give a strong answer for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was treated as an interface, yeah. But it's not really. It's a special. I thought the TE is not the full blown interface in XR, right? Because show interface doesn't have the TE. It's TE because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles as a regular interfaces.
Correct. Yeah, but as far as RIB's concerned, at least for MPLS TE, it just looks like an interface. It's hidden from RIB. RIB does not continue the recursive resolution.
So in that case, once we have like a TE bring up, then the next hop will be considered resolving by this TE interface system.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Then basically, then it makes sense. So they say if we follow a similar one, we can, because then this still the Zebra, basically RIB handling it, right? Because it will be resolving through the interface.
Eddie, so the resolution is against remote endpoints of, I mean, I hate word policy. It's an LSP, right? For lack of a better word. So I think it works. It's worth to take a look at how Zebra today resolves MPLS LSPs. It does support traffic engineering in limited way, so probably separate construct would make sense.
I was thinking that if we put it in the Zebra, then it will be logically the SRv6 policy is like the V6P tunnel, right?
I mean, it's a traffic engineering construct, like Michael said, right? You don't have to represent as an interface like XR does, but so FRR does support SR MPLS and RCPT, at least to some degree. So let's take a look at constructs there and see if we can align.
So I see your point. So basically, you say like we can looking on the Zebra handling to see how this one be handled. We can get a synergy from the regular TFR.
Yeah, I would think so. Again, from construct perspective, it's exactly the same. It's a traffic engineering tunnel to remote endpoint.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can take a look at that one. So that's a good suggestion. So, but in general, I say then this one will become like a zebra. We're going down to the policy. So then which basically the policy will go to the zebra. Then zebra will be treated similar to the regular TE tunnels to resolving it. But how we resolving it will be like the SR as an interface, or we using some zebra existing methodology. So then this will be more like a detailed coding design in the question. Okay.
Probably
Yeah.
what you want to avoid, and probably the worst set kind of bugs in RIP, is freezing conditions.
Then from there, then we can coming down to pushing down whatever the policy, which is tunnel information through the zebra, through the FPM. So then this will be basically reusing the FPM socket with the information, but this information probably we're using the protobuf to describe it, right? Because this is a T tunnel of information. It's kind of like say T tunnel information going to the from zebra to the SONiC. So would that be okay? Like say for the policy part, so for the program, so programming there are two parts. One is for the policy for net hop that we can going down. Then probably this one say, hey, it will go by the T tunnels. Then the T tunnel information will be coming through. Also, it goes through the FPM. So that's probably like we need to see what kind of message format we are using, but it will be going through the FPM sync D is so basically the channel, but we using the protobuf format. Then we will define the new protobuf format for the SRv6 policy. So this is from architecture wise, would that be okay? So any concerns before I think roughly then we will still follow the same rule, like say, like from the communication point of view, and we will anything go through the zebra, we're still reusing the FPM socket. The only thing we were introducing temporarily, we're introducing the protobuf. Then we will migrate, eventually we'll migrate everything to the protobuf, but initially we probably just still use the message header to indicating, hey, this is a NetLink message versus a protobuf message. Yeah. Then for that's the same socket. Then for the BFD, this one we will go, since there's no zebra involvement, we'll go directly to the source. Just we use an existing socket to go in directly to the SONiC area. So then I see that Google has the appendix. So right now, when we're talking about the new structure, we have two parts. One is for the policy table, which we're indicating it's kind of equivalent to the TE table case to see how we want to handle it. The other one is the MySit. So these two, we are using the protobuf. Would that be okay? And can you go back? Yeah, stay this one. So for the zebra, I'm thinking that we just using this parallel like the message. So we were gradually moving everything from the the link net link to the pro bus, but we will be reusing the same socket. So it's still one socket to be opened, but not two sockets. I remember someone add a callback for FPM. So this is a separate socket, right? I think Hassan mentioned it somewhere, like either Broadcom or someone added like the callback routine for if the route insertion failed, they want the Zebra be aware. So there's a callback added. But I think that callback add was for another socket. I don't know. I don't know if anyone aware of that. For different direction. Yeah, because Hassan was on PTO right now until he won't be back until July 20th.
I think it's separate socket. AD, I can double check what they've done for the response.
That one basically say when the Zebra is the server, right? So it's a callback routine from the socket, right? Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I just want to double confirm with that. So then, which means we could. What do you know? What's the message format they're using in that one? Or right now it's just the fixed like netlink, still netlink message.
It's again netlink message, RTM new route message, whatever. The same thing is what they're using.
But that's a callback, right? Or you mean like they use a callback to indicating like say, hey,
Yes.
this message has something wrong.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I see. Okay. Then for our case, we probably just start with the protobuf instead of the netlink because we plan to bypassing the kernel. So that's why we don't have intention to define these as netlink structures. Good. So as a summary, so for the SR policy, we treat as the TE tunnel, and we're moving the code, the handling in Zebra to do the resolution. And the message will adding from Zebra to the FPM sync D and through the probuf. So at the moment, we were adding two new types. One is the message, one is for the policy table.
Yeah, I mean, AD, I have a question there. The whatever the SR or the VPN SRv6 that you proposed in the community, that has the SONiC schema, like application DB, you have the policy name and all that, right? I'm not sure how do you derive that? How do you basically add that policy name for a given policy? Is that something you generate internally and then use it with the route, or how are we doing it? I'm not sure whether the pathd already sending that information to the Zebra today. If because
today we don't.
Okay.
Today like that's why in the code we say we have some non-committable code, which we from pathd passing the information directly to the FDB, and there we define the schema. Then in the future, this schema will be used. I think it probably will be better to change it as a protobuf schema, and we using as a message between the Zebra and the FPM sync D. Probably FPM sync D won't do too much. It's just sending this one to the FDB directly. So logically, you can consider this will be the same schema will be introduced in the FDB.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the end-to-end flow, Eddie? I'm trying to understand. Some of the things are coming from Zebra, correct? Like route table, route information, one thing, and then my said. So there's some linkage to the policy table, right?
There's some linkage. Today, the linkage was done in the in the awk agent. So we're using the next hop as a key to say, hey, if the next hop is a tunnel endpoint, then we were changing that path to be the tunnel. Then in the future, this one will be done in the Zebra. So basically, we're resolving it through the tunnel. So as regular, like we can define the policy, say which one will be resolved first, something like that. So basically, it will be one part of the Zebra resolution resolving logic.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Then probably we need to add a little bit because if this is something we probably need to check what the Zebra current TE structure will look like, because if in Cisco they treat it as an interface, the benefit is like next hop you have an interface name, then you can using that one to associate with your TE structures. So we may eventually probably doing something similar. Let's have some TE handle at the next hop. Then we can associate because the TE itself set up probably will be independent with the route. Right. So,
yeah, that's correct.
So,
yeah.
So that's something probably we need to check. I don't know because I never look at the Zebra for the TFR code. So I'm not 100% sure. Let's say how does today, but Michael refreshed my memory to see in the XR this is the interface. So I understand why it's coming that way.
I don't know. I mean, it really depends whether you want to treat tunnel as an interface or tunnel as a, like source destination, and how do you want to program it? Really depends. I don't know. It's implementation.
I think that interface, we don't need to be the full-blown interface. So we just need some kind of interface handle, which we can let NetHub refer to. Then this NetHub handle can be used to refer to the hardware structure for the T structures.
Yeah.
So that's why, like even in XR, this is just logically say it's not really the full-blown interfaces because the interface is way too heavy. But this is more like considered as a forwarding interface structure, the more lightweight.
Okay.
Okay, so looks like this is a good discussion. So this one we pretty much iron out these proposals, the planning. For that to be okay. How about the Shrine and the Gui, like Alibaba guys? You guys okay with this one?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay. Good. Okay, then that's pretty much for today's topic, and we have another like 27 minutes. Anything else you want to discuss? So basically, you're okay to give the presentation next week, talking either the Yang model or you're talking about your like it's a cell structure.
Yeah, Yang model, I can give some overview what we are doing in the SONiC community, how things are being programmed to the FRR from open config models. So I mean from FRR also is like doing the Yang based configurations, right? So I think that's mostly on the IETF side, not really worrying about open config models at this stage in FRR. So there's some differences. Yeah, I can certainly cover what we are doing in the SONiC community today with open config models.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then another one is, are you familiar with this? Because I see that there's a GCU will be added recently, 1 or 2 years. So do you familiar with that?
Yes, you want to. I don't know. I mean, that was brought in by Microsoft, right? I've not really used it personally, how that works, the transaction rollback and all those concepts. So Yeah, it's we need to try for routing configurations and how that works, you know.
Because I try to understand it's like say today, like we was merging with 2205, so we try to understand like say for the young validator, so where today the handling is handling in the GCU or it because previously it was in a different location. I don't know if you have inside information on that. Maybe you can next week you can give us some little information to see how the young validation will be handled in the SONiC.
I don't know. I will have to see. Eddie.
Okay.
Generally, that Yang validation is for it's a generic thing. You know, it's any configuration it validates. It doesn't matter whether it's a GCU or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Even for the config JSON, if you load it, it does the validation just to make sure you know whatever the Yang format conditions are met. Yeah.
Yeah, because I see that it seems like the config DB, the connection is changed probably in the last 2 years. So that's why I was wondering, like the previous I remember like the Yang validator was a big part of the setting rules. Maybe something changed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be good if you can kind of discuss this one. So let's discuss probably next week on that to see how the Yang handling part.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else we want to discuss? If not, then today's a quick talk. We finished, and I give it like 20 minutes back to everyone. Cool. Okay, thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
everyone.
bye.